So recently I discovered that the 1% have more wealth than half the planet's population. See, I don't know. I mean, for me, that's red alarm. That's ringing off the bells, telling me that the reason why we have such a big problem in the world, I think that is one of the biggest reasons. And we must not just bypass this. We must pay attention to this. Now, what's happening over time, the 1% are taking more and more, and they don't know when to stop because they have this mindset that operates mechanically when you involve business and the way you make money. So they just keep making money. So for them, even though they have enough money for over 100 lifetimes, they still won't stop because for them, never is enough. They're just going to keep going. No matter how much they have, it will never be enough. So at one point, do the people step up and pay attention to the real problem? Now, there's this guy called Gary Economics, and he talks about this, and his message is very clear, and I support this. He says, tax the rich. He shows us why we need to do that, because every few years, it's only getting harder. They found a way to manipulate and control more and more resources that affect our judgment. And what we're doing at the bottom half, we're struggling amongst ourselves and we're battling and we're fighting for differences that is taking so much of our energy. Our race, our religions, our political views, all of this is dividing us. There's the saying that the ruling have is divide and conquer. And for as long as we are in the mix of division and separation, we're going to be stuck here with this narrative. We are just going to allow them to do what they have to do to make more and more and more with no limits. So really, I'm just a normal guy. I'm a coach. I teach fitness and martial arts. And this is my way of life. And I completely understand that working hard or doing the best you can will give you the best chances to make it. Now, they have this argument that they use against us. They say that if you don't make it, it's because you haven't worked hard enough. Well, that's not true, because there are people that work really hard and they still can't pay or make enough to feed their families and to pay the rents and to get clothing, basic stuff. They still can't afford it. So over time, it's getting harder. I think that the wealthy, the rich class have convinced themselves in believing that they are somehow superior and special, and they've earned their right to take more than they need. And they are judging the poor by saying that they are not good enough. See, this is cruelty and there's no compassion there. I wouldn't say that is success. I would say that is confusion and ignorance. I think that if you are aware of the current system and you admit that it's corrupt and it's cruel and it's nasty and it serves the rich, it doesn't mean that knowing this will destroy your chances of making it. I believe that knowing this will still give you the fuel to do everything you can. But the difference here, and I'll try and be clear because it's challenging with the words, but I think that if we have, let's say, person one who has convinced himself to believe that it's his fault for not making it and he must work harder, and he does succeed, he will have this mindset of believing that he is somehow special or he has found the way out and people haven't. And this is not true. So this is, in a way, a false delusional reality. And as a result, it will make him discompassionate to care about the people that are at the bottom. Where we have person two who understands the rigged system, but works hard. And let's say he does make it, at least he will have the mindset of knowing the true reality of the corruption that we are in, and also understanding that where he is now, he got through and not everyone can. Because of this, he shares compassion for others. This guy, person 2, will want to bring more change than person 1. And I hope you can see the difference between the two. 1 judges and believes that he is superior and special, where 2, he has compassion and knowing that he got through it, found a way, and not everyone can. So this is the reality of it. Over time, this is what's happening. We're going towards a system that benefits the few over the many. And I think we need to be careful with the narrative of creating our own delusional reality, because it really numbs us and makes us heartless human beings. I think we need to start becoming more conscious and aware of this, because the truth is, there are many of us and there are few of them. But the reason why we are so broken in society and we are not focused with the same message is because of all of our differences. We have so many different arguments amongst ourselves that divides us. Whether you're right wing, you're left wing, we have the two opposites fighting instead of looking for the middle ground. And we have religions that are trying to convince others to become a part of the religion instead of finding the middle ground. The natural kindness that we have as human beings, the natural awareness to see wrong. Instead of focusing on this, we are pushing ideologies that is dividing us. And I think that we need to, at some point, go beyond these things, these ideas, or at least put aside when we have the conversation that allows human progress and creativity and compassion to flourish. Now, if we continue in this battle of division, there will be no room for the best of humanity, because we can see over time, because of our distraction in division, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. If we do nothing and say nothing, what happens there? Well, it's simple. If you do nothing and say things like, what can I do? That's a choice. And you've accepted to do nothing, which causes an action. It's still an action. And we need to recognize that. By doing nothing is still an action. And I'm not saying to go out and riot and cause violence and aggression, because that's not the solution. But I think we need to pay attention to our differences and the divisions and separations we have in our own ideology, and then find the common ground to bring change. And we can do this when we're thoughtful, when we're compassionate. We can do this. This is the importance of one voice, one collective voice. Now, I understand the importance of individualism, and it's very important to think for yourself. But when it comes to human rights and the killing of children, we must think together so we can find the solution to this problem. See, the story of Spartacus is powerful because in a way it symbolizes you and me. It symbolizes the people and going beyond the differences. See, when the ruling class asked to take Spartacus, before Spartacus stood up, another man stood up before him and said, I am Spartacus. And then another guy stood up and said, no, I am Spartacus. And before you know it, everyone stood up and they said, we are Spartacus. You see, there's power in this, because the point here is we are struggling together. And when we unite in this and we pay attention to this, our energy becomes one, not fragmented. And we are not confused, and we are focused on the main point. And I think Gary Economics has found us a focus, and that should be tax the rich. And we should focus on this so we can at least solve the problem. or bring people in the discussion. We need politicians. We need philosophers, mathematicians. We need teachers. We need those that are hungry to learn and to be the best, to come to have these discussions so that we can at least have a dialogue where we can put our differences aside and we can look for or bring our ideas out as a thesis and then find the antithesis, the opposite argument, so we can find a synthesis, a new refined argument. Are we doing this? Or are we seeing politicians protecting their own ideologies and their own businesses or influences that they have behind them? Because it seems that that's what we are seeing constantly. We are constantly battling in the wrong areas. And I think we need to pay attention to what truly matters. I think we can do this together as one voice. Stay true, and I see you soon.